Good afternoon and a warm welcome back to the Atatu Peninsula Bowling Club in Auckland for the final day of the Aotearoa National Bowls, where we are underway in the Tane final for men. Kerry Chapman of Tamaki Makaurau up against Tony Waikato of Whanganui. Kerry Chapman playing with Tony Bellog, John Mitchell and Jean Whitcliffe. Waikato playing alongside Jean Gregory, Sonny White and Eddie Knox. So strong Auckland representation, as there is in the Wahine final. We will keep you up to date with. It's Mackenzie Blucher, who we saw earlier this afternoon here on Sky Sport Next in the semi-final up against Maria Smith. Two combinations from Tamaki Makaurau. Brenton Van Nistelrooy here with you in commentary alongside Kevin Hickland. And we are straight into action on the first end of 10. No time limit for the final of the Tane and also for Wahine.
So good afternoon, Brenton, as we bring this final to you of this magnificent 47th Aotearoa Bowls played over the Waitangi weekend, and now down to the final stages. We've got Kerry Chapman skipping the Tamaki side. Chapman, of course, former New Zealand player, and up against Tony Waikato. Of course, in that side, Jean Gregory, the father of a very prominent player, Riker Gregory. So we're all set for a 10-end hit-out, so to speak, in the final here this afternoon at the Te Atatu Bowling Club, with the green running around about 18 seconds. An indication I saw earlier on the head that it's the Whanganui side of Tony Waikato who are holding the shot. Jean Gregory now, long-time player out of the Levin area. On the back end, on the drawer, looking closely at this is Tony Waikato going right to the back. He'll be happy with that, because we saw Tony Bellog certainly attack the head with his first bowl on this, the first end.
And Jean Gregory had his two sons, didn't he, in the other semi-final here for Tane. But they were beaten by Kerry Chapman's four in the semi-final earlier this afternoon. This one runs under the line and into the ditch, so both of those Tony Bellog bowls unable to find the target, but certainly showing that the Whanganui four are holding a shot as the skips crossover for the first time on the first of 10 ends in this unique format here of the Aotearoa National Bowls. We also have, as I mentioned, the Wahine final in action. Mackenzie Blucher up against Maria Smith, and unfortunately, Maria Smith's mum, Judy Tihi, has fallen unwell and has been replaced by Kirsty Hill in their four. So, extend all our best wishes to Judy Tihi, Maria Smith's mum. Hope that she's okay. Kirsty Hill coming in, obviously a very prominent bowler in the Auckland region, coming in at last minute to play for that Tamaki Makaurau quartet.
Yeah, it's more than likely that Kerry Chapman will attack this with a different speed. He's not. He's been very, very sedate, is Chapman. Former blackjack, of course, on the back end. It's going to get running down to get to the jack. Going to go under the line with that. He told me earlier on, Chapman, he said, I'm not going really good, but that we all know what Kerry Chapman is certainly capable of, it's for sure. And as Brenton said, would indicate that it's the Whanganui side that are holding the shot.
Tony Waikato with his second bowl isn't going to change the situation here, I don't think. Doesn't quite look like it's got the right weight.
Chapman again now on the forehand, looking to, he's playing on the backhand this time, trying to reach down to the shot bowl or jack. They're looking at this bowl as breaking in towards the head. He's going to get the shot bowl or the jack. As he gets the jack clean, straight back into the ditch with the bowl. That's the Chapman we know. That's the Kerry Chapman we saw so many times when he was a prominent player around New Zealand. And that was certainly, he just caressed the jack, Brendan, didn't he, on that backhand run shot.
Yeah, you can tell straight away, couldn't you? Almost as soon as it left his hand, it was on a good line.
Certainly
Playing
was.
with that extra weight, it was either going to get the shot, bowl, or the jack itself, and it got the jack. And it looks like it's not just one that picked up. Maybe they had the back bowl as well. It looks like they're turning over a couple. Let's wait for that scoreboard to be completed. But yes, 2 on the first end. Kerry Chapman against Tane Waikato. So they were down on the head until that very final bowl of the opening end. And former blackjack Kerry Chapman delivers.
So with his lead, Gene Whitcliffe, and Chapman, of course, when playing first represented the Blackjacks when he was playing, in fact, in Northland, and it was really one of the real younger stars of New Zealand bowls. As we watch Whitcliffe, this looks a pretty good opening bowl coming towards us here in the commentary position. Just going to go by the jack, which is sitting right on the 2 metre mark, and the bowl will sit deep down on the rink, right in fact to the ditch, and Chapman will be quite happy with that. Eddie Knox now the lead for Tane Waikato, and playing the opposite hand is Knox. This looks to be going by, certainly is, on the wide and hefty side.
Yeah, we saw, for those of you who were watching earlier this afternoon here on Sky Sport Next, in our semi-final for women, Wahine, and a lot of players struggling with the pace of the green here at the Atatu Peninsula Bowling Club. Kevin mentioned playing good 18 seconds, maybe even a bit quicker.
Yeah, it's certainly, it's certainly fairly quick, and you can watch the finish of those bowls coming towards us now. Brendan, this bowl's still a metre and a bit short, but they just slowly sort of dawdle towards the jack, so it's running quick, all right.
Oh, we saw a couple of times Mackenzie Blucher, the skip for the Tamaki Makaurau side, which were successful in their semi-final and are playing in the Wahine final at the moment. A couple of actually thought they were well short out of the hand, and they were pretty much touches. Right. So just showing the speed of the surface here at Te Atatu Peninsula.
Very impressive was Mackenzie Blucher in that semi-final, as we see Johnny Mitchell now on the forehand. Of course, Mitchell, I'm not sure about now. Mitchell, of course, used to play here at the Te Atatu Club. Not sure if he's still a member here or not. It's going to go again right down. In fact, just falls into the ditch.
Well, they are the local favourites, aren't they? Very much a West Auckland quartet.
It is.
Kerry Chapman's 4. Tony Ballog, John Mitchell and Gene Whitcliffe.
Sonny White now on his forehand. Got it down on a fairly good arc. How far is it going to come back to that centre line with this weight? That's going to go by quickly. You can certainly... It's interesting, and if you look at really out in front of us, if right out here, if they're still going pretty quick, about 10, 15 feet out,
yeah, not coming home.
They're not coming home, that's for sure.
Quickly back to his work, John Mitchell.
And he's taking some weight off, and you'll watch that slow crawl towards the jack, this bowler Mitchell's. And that's Julie what it's going to do, and just finish over jack level, a metre side of the jack.
I think we've seen the adjustment here made by Sonny White, so this time he's urging it on, but it'll get there.
Whether it's going to come back far enough, Brent, certainly a better weighted bowl for sure, and we'll get back to the centre line just past the 2 metre mark. And
that could be shot, you know.
It could well be shot, actually, because it fell over.
There's not much between that and the bowl, which is almost in line short.
And, of course, the mat is up a wee bit.
Doesn't like this one, I don't think, Tony Ballog.
Has to be inside that line, Brent, otherwise it's going to go as this one. Well, it's going to sit. In fact, no, it's not. Ran into the bowl of Gene Whitcliffe behind the head. Here's now Gene Gregory, the number 3, and this won't come back for sure on that width and weight. It won't get back to the centre line.
2 metres pull off.
So Kerry Chapman just saying to Tony Belloc, a couple of metres over, just take a couple of metres off. And that bowler, Gene Gregory's really, Brendan, is a great sighter, because if you're just inside that line of the charcoal bowl of Gene Gregory's, you're in a good drawing line to the jack. If you're outside it, you're going to go past, as we're going to watch this bowler, Tony Bellog's, do exactly that.
Yeah, so 2 bowls in the ditch for Tony Bellog. Just shakes his head. Of course, they playing a few rinks down from this one here.
Yeah, Gene Gregory, this bowl certainly got good weight. How far is this going to come back? Still going to sit out. You can see, Brendan, that if it's not on the line to that front bowl, that's a couple of metres out, you're certainly going to sit outside the centre line and not get back. And at this stage, we're not quite sure who's got shot. We see them.
Well, I think a finger went up from Tony Waikato, I think, to his number 3, Gene Gregory, suggesting that they were up by 1, but John Mitchell's looking over as well, and I think pointing down was Tony Bellog, so indicating that indeed the Whanganui 4 are holding shot.
Then John Mitchell put his finger up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so who knows? So we watch Chapman now. Yeah, lovely delivery of Kerry Chapman, synonymous with him. He's had, watch this on the draw, it's going to come back now. This bowl comes back to the centre line, got to get inside the, and falls jack level.
That might be shot, you know.
Applause from Tony Bellog.
Still plenty of room though for Tony Waikato here to draw inside.
Still a metre really, Brendan, isn't it?
Yeah, metre plus really, isn't it?
Either way, you know, there's
they're all.
that bowl's going to be short. That bowl of Tony Waikato certainly just trying to get that gentle draw. It's still running, but it's going to go under the jack line, and goodness gracious,
that could be shot, you know, as well. Yeah. Sometimes it looks like it's going to be well short out of the hand, but it'll get there. You've got to have confidence it's going to get there. And you just got to make sure you've got the right line.
That last 2 metres is a slow draw to the jack. This one of Chapman's, it's not going to make any difference. Gene Gregory, just so indication from Gene Gregory was to change your hand for Tony Waikato. There's a 4-shot trail on that backhand on the draw. Wouldn't have to move very far. So here he is on the backhand. Chapman scoring a 2 on the first end. Gene Gregory trying to encourage it to get back towards the centre line, and the jack just going to go by. And
so 1 to Tony Waikato. So they are on the board. 2 ends played. Kerry Chapman leading Tony Waikato 2-1. After 2 of the 10 ends in this, the Tane final of the Aotearoa National Bowls for 2021 here at the Atatu Peninsula Bowling Club in Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland.
We mentioned before about the former Blackjacks, of course, who have played in this event, and it's interesting, Jessie Ann Law, who played for the Blackjacks a few years back, was in fact from Gisborne. In fact, was here playing in this tournament. Jessie Ann Law represented New Zealand a number of years back, and of course the favourite son of the area, Shannon McElroy, they're here. The McElroy family, whenever there's Aotearoa bowls on, you can guarantee that there'll be a McElroy presence, and there certainly is. So on the backhand is Gene Whitcliffe.
And who knows, it may free up Shannon to play in more tournaments like these. Now he's decided to take an indefinite break from international bowls and all those commitments that those involve. He might be able to play in these kind of events more often.
Oh, absolutely. And I think one of the things about, well, let's call it the sabbatical, the nice thing about it, he's not going to be lost to the likes of the Stoke club, where of course he's still going to be playing inter-club for Stoke. I'm not sure about Nelson in the inter-centre. I don't know whether that's on the calendar or not, but certainly be playing for Stoke in the inter-club finals. And of course they won the Nelson. As we see, Eddie Knox just draws in behind the jack. That'll be shot. Nelson the Stoke Club, and the Nelson Women's Nelson Club, of course now Val Smith, Joe Edwards, they won the Women's Nelson Inter Club.
And I think for Shannon, other players have shown that you can take these breaks from the international game and come back as good, if not better. Gary Lawson and Mike Kernahan, just two of those who have had big breaks from international play and then come back and still showing they've got it at that very top level.
Yeah, they certainly have. The class is permanent scenario, isn't it? The old story.
And Shannon has been playing at that top level for a number of years now. I know he's only 34, but
he's represented New Zealand when he was 19.
Exactly right. And from the early teenage years, he was playing at tournaments.
All the time.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to remember that his first year out of secondary school actually played in a New Zealand Fours final. So, he has been going a long time.
So, and certainly with a young family, makes sense. He wants to spend a bit of time with them, and they're his priority for the next few years at least.
Well, of course, remember his wife Amy, of course, who was also represented the Black Jacks, bronze medalist, of course, at the Glasgow Games in 2014, and is back playing at the Stoke Club and playing in Nelson events, etc. So
they're playing together as well at the mixed pairs.
They are playing.
So looking forward to at the end of this month, obviously early next month, after the National Fours, the Somerset National Fours down in Central Otago, Alexandra.
And the 206 entries in the mixed pairs, which is a staggering.
I think it surprised everyone, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And we were talking about this before, Brent, and just going away from this game just for a second, is that the destination, I think, as well, does make a difference, doesn't it? People are getting down to a bit of a holiday as well, aren't they?
Yeah, I think that's why they decided to put the mixed pairs on. Like, if you do want to spend a couple more days in Central Otago, here you go. There's a tournament for you. And a lot of people going, all right, brilliant. Good excuse to stay a few more days in a beautiful part of the country.
You and I won't mind. We'll be okay, won't we?
Absolutely. Playing the third end here of the Tane final at the Aotearoa National Bowls at the Atatu Peninsula Bowling Club, Tamaki Makaurau, and it is the locals, Kerry Chapman's four, who are leading the Whanganui four, skipped by Tony Waikato. Here's his number 3, Gene Gregory. Looks like he's come under the line.
And holding one, though, is the Tony Waikato side. And Gene Gregory, the number 3, is one of the great supporters in the years gone by, secondary school bowls, when his family his boys were playing, and been a great advocate over the years. And you watch this bowl, Tony Balog, that's needs to sit on the inside of and does, got a bit of a lucky slide, and that will still be one shot to the Whanganui side, only in 3 of 10 with no time limit.
Yeah, important point to make. Usually it's tournament, 1 hour 15 time limit for all games, but not the finals.
Good ball here, Gene Gregory's right under the jack.
Perfect.
Front toucher.
Yeah, just a little kiss on the jack there. Marked by Tony Waikato.
Great crowd here, Brendan, isn't it? We look around, and also there's quite a few people who, let's say, in a different location here at the club. enjoying
the hospitality here, and why not?
Going by on the wide side. There's the skips change over. This is the third.
I think nearly all the shaded areas have been snapped up. Majority of them. I suppose those who couldn't find a shaded spot can find a shaded spot elsewhere with perhaps a refreshment too.
There is another spot where they can get some shade and quench the thirst. But as we spoke about earlier when we had John Niwa with us, that this event really represents Waitangi weekend and what New Zealand with Aotearoa is all about, isn't it? It's everybody's just having fun and enjoying the hospitality and the bowls, and it's certainly serious, no question about that. But that aside, it's more about the camaraderie and
the manaakitanga is how John said it was like, and it's special nature of this tournament. Someone's going to come round the back.
You won't be too worried about that.
No, stayed on. Might be the back bowl now, that bowl from Tane Waikato. We're going to see the drive from Kerry Chapman.
Attacking shot at Chapman's. Got one
Takes
of them.
out one.
Very, very skillful driver is Kerry Chapman. You don't see many wild ones from Chapman. He's normally pretty close to the target. Of course, that bowl just makes the target harder now by removing that what was the bowling behind the jack. Just makes the target that much smaller. So Tane Waikato trying to add to the count. Looks to be on a pretty good line. How's the weight? Certainly on that line to the jack. Is it going to get all the way to the jack? Just going to pull up short. Opens the line up though for Chapman, that's for sure. One down's a signal. He drives quick enough underneath that line. You can get that bowl literally clean on the back end, not lose his own.
Just having a little look to see if it is 2 or 1 shot. They're down. Location just the 1. Drive coming again from Chapman. What's he got this time? Oh, I think he got his own. So that hasn't worked out well. So it'll be at least 2 to Tane Waikato. Maybe, oh no, just one.
The one.
Just one. So there was a second Kerry Chapman bowl close enough. So we're all tied up now after 3 ends. Very tight start to this Tane final. And it's 2 apiece. Kerry Chapman and Tane Waikato after 3 now of the 10 ends. Also have the Wahine final as well. And after 2 ends of the Wahine final, it's Maria Smith who is leading Mackenzie Blucher 2-0. Mackenzie Blucher in the same situation in the semi-final, was down 2-0.
I was just going to make the comment on that, Brendan, that we saw in that semi-final 2-0 down. Didn't really make a lot of difference in the finish, did it? To
exactly right.
So good opening bowl here from Eddie Knox. Touches the jack. Here's that crowd. They're going now.
Yeah, I think they might be going for Mackenzie Blucher actually.
Who just drew a toucher.
Yeah, the lady we're just talking about, the young skip or the Tamaki Makoto combination. In fact, it's an all Auckland final. So Maria Smith, so out of Tamaki Makoto.
Jean Whitcliffe now playing up towards the commentary position here at the Atatu Peninsula Bowling Club, and certainly there's some support out there for sure as we see the bowler Jean Whitcliffe just roll into the ditch, just slightly overweighted. Eddie Knox trying to make 2 of it. Certainly brought that line in, which is a good indication to get back to the centre line. You'll see the bowl move now because he's on that dead draw line, and another superb bowl from Eddie Knox. Just lower the Jackson right alongside it.
2 great bowls, wasn't it, from the lead from Whanganui.
And sitting at home watching this, especially playing this way, there's a certain point out here on the green. And if you're on that line, you're going and got the right weight, you're going to have a kind finish towards the jack. Otherwise, you'll do what the second bowl of Jean Whitcliffe's is in fact going to do, and just go into the ditch. So Sunny White, the call from Tane Waikato, just get a touch on the bowl, move the jack around the corner. Eddie Knox has certainly set this head up well for the...
Yeah, Tane Waikato, they're realising that the jack is still open. It's not protected. See it right there, you got a clear sight from the mat.
This will make its way back to the centre line as well, but with pace.
Too much weight. So both bowls from Jean Whitcliffe in the ditch now. The first from Sunny White.
Yeah, it just shows the experience of Kerry Chapman. Yeah, the jack in fact is a metre behind the 2 metre mark. Kerry Chapman just said draw to the 2 metre mark. Stop trying, don't have to draw towards the jack. Draw to the 2 metre mark. because then you're going to get that finish as we watch this bowl of John Mitchell's, and that's exactly what Kerry Chapman was talking about. Certainly not the shot, but sits right on the centre line and half a metre behind. And the danger is, Brent, if you try and draw to the jack, you'll more than likely go to the ditch. So Chapman rightly called, just concentrate on drawing to the 2 metre mark as we watch Sunny White. Great array of colour here, isn't there, at this Aotearoa finals. Good bowl coming here from Sunny White. Is he going to get to the jack? No, just...
Still a good effort though, wasn't it, from Sunny White? Good correction from his first. Yep. A lot of the players wearing either their club colours. Looks like Maria Smith's 4 wearing Royal Oak Bowling Club colours from here in Auckland. Got local colours otherwise from Tamaki Makaurau or Whanganui as we have here. There's certainly...
John Mitchell trying to get to the jack and just going to drop a bowl short of it. Second shot. Well played by the number 2 for Kerry Chapman.
Very colourful event, which is something that certainly stuck out, as well as the great noise and buzz as soon as you walked into the club this afternoon.
2-all after 3 ends, with Tane Waikato holding the shot from his lead, Eddie Knox. And this bolt of Jean Gregory's certainly just playing that draw line, draw weight, just going to finish a metre short. Now the thing that Kerry Chapman I like about that bowl is the clear line. So the line now for the Chapman side is just under that bowl and drawing to the jack. And of course he's got that bowl in the catching pen of Sunny White's, of John Mitchell's just sitting behind. So anything inside the Gregory bowl certainly gives him an opportunity to get to the jack, the Kerry Chapman side. Kerry Chapman's looking keenly at this bowl as it gets under that line that we spoke about, endeavouring to get to the shot bowl. How did he
Can't believe
that?
it. It's one of those ones where it's harder to find the gap than to get one of those bowls, and he somehow found it. The smallest corridor in between those 2 bowls of Eddie Knox, and also in there one of the John Mitchell bowls.
Well, the nightly 1 bowl away, Brendan, from getting the perfect result. So Jean Gregory's not going to, and it's going to in fact tighten that line up. And Chapman
Was on that centre line, and that really, Jack in the ditch's option's almost gone now. It's got some...
Yeah, he knows, does
help.
Tony Belloc, as soon as he delivered the bolt, that he was going to finish up too wide on that weight to get to the result he wanted. Definitely won. It's the Eddie Knox bowl, which is the shot.
Yeah, I think there we just saw Kerry Chapman explaining to Tony Belloc what had happened, because obviously Tony Belloc wouldn't have been able to see it from the mat. But a great view did Kerry Chapman and all those just behind the head. As they saw the Belloc, his first bowl, find the narrowest of corridors.
You might have heard some applause there in the Wahine final. That was Rima Strickland just drawing the shot right on top of the jack. So Tony Waikato will certainly be wanting to get another bowl on the head. This one is not going to do so, because this bolt was going to hang out on that wide side and won't really alter the line, the jack line, the ditch line that Kerry Chapman will want to play. It won't alter that. See Chapman now on his forehand will sit and try and reach through under those bowls in front of the head to get down to the jack or the shot bowl. Questioning the weight on the way through. It looks to have good weight to the jack, this bowl, or is it going to get under the front bowls? Had that lovely drawing weight.
Get another opportunity Just needs to adjust his line a tiny bit behind the target. Tony Waikato, though, with his second.
Well, it was only really one bowl away on his width, really, on his green line. Yeah, this bowl, well, Tony Waikato's going to stay up. He'll be quite happy with that, and applause rightly from Gene Gregory, giving them the deepest bowl on the green. Chapman will endeavouring to move the jack again, or sit the shot bowl. He's got more weight with this bowl to get down to the shot bowl. Looking closely at it, needs to be underneath it, not it.
Unfortunate there. It was a touch wide, slight overcorrection. It was just the slightest overcorrection. So one more to Tony Waikato. So now after 4 ends, and it is Tony Waikato now leading Kerry Chapman 3-2. So it's been 3 singles on the last 3 ends for the Whanganui 4 after Kerry Chapman picked up a 2 on the first. Very, very tight. There's been very little between these two quartets. First 4 ends, remember, of just 10. It's very cutthroat, almost at the halfway stage already.
Well, another interesting thing, Brendan, that we've seen virtually right throughout both the semi-final and the finals. Virtually everything's been played to the 2 metre mark. We haven't seen a great deal of variation, have we, of the jack length and green running at 18 seconds.
And is that because it's just so fast that they haven't been able to control the jack, and it's just pretty much found its way down to the 2 metre mark all the time?
There's a bit of that, but also you play the very short ends on a green like this. Now, we saw it, a classic example in the semi-final of the men's pairs at the Somerset Nationals when Dan Dickinson was playing the Mike Brigshaw side, and John Carruthers was able to get 3 bowls close on that short end, and out of the 6 bowls Dan Dickinson couldn't get it. So it's a very, the short ends on an 18-19 second green, it's just a, you don't deliver it, it's just a fall out of the hand really. And I heard Kerry Chapman make that comment before, and the key thing when you're playing the 2 metre mark is you don't actually draw to the 2 metre mark. You're endeavouring to draw, about 6 feet in front of the 2 metre line, because the bowl will work its way back. But if you try and draw dead to the centre line or the 2 metre mark, you'll normally pay the price and go by pretty quickly towards the ditch. Good second bowl here from Eddie Knox. It's a metre and a bit behind, but will certainly be the shot. As Gene Whitcliffe, the lead for Chapman, play on his backhand. This 10-end final. And this looks a pretty good line. This bowl of Gene Whitcliffe, but it's that pace again. And it's going to just go by. Will stay up. Will be third shot right on the centre line.
Sonny will be happy with that.
He will be, and Sonny White, no doubt, will stay on that backhand side. And it looks to be under the centre line, and we'll cross the centre line, and
You got this, John.
I only needed a metre really. That's about all I needed. About a metre and a half of weight would have done the job.
As you can see from that previous shot, we are playing 1 rink in from what we played when we broadcast the Wahine semi-final on rink 8, which was closest to our commentary position. We're 1 rink inside, number 7.
And in saying that, Brendan, that does make that backhand side a more generous
Exactly,
draw.
that was what I was going to get to.
It's a far more courteous draw than what it is playing out on.
And that's what we've seen so far, haven't we? The players have been more comfortable playing that and have been more accurate than what we saw in the Wahine semi-final, and really raced away on that backhand side.
This bowler Sonny White's on the draw. This question what the weight's going to be like. Looked pretty good out of the hand. How far is it going to come back to the, sit on the bowl clean, and does. And that'll be a couple.
2 good bowls back to back by Eddie Knox and then Sonny White.
Yeah, Mitch.
John Mitchell.
Come on, buddy.
Kerry Chapman, number 2. This looks a pretty good bowl for the number 2 for Kerry Chapman, and it is. Sits right on the centre line, just lower the jack, but that'll be the shot.
Yeah, with the Brisbane Broncos bucket hat.
Yes. Well, to be fair, the Tane Waikato shirts are pretty Brisbane Bronco-like as well, aren't they?
They are actually. Whanganui shirts. Got a Raiders emblem on their sleeve.
So, as Nigel Yoden would tell you, if you're representing Whanganui, you're just playing the Butcher Boys stripes. So the blue, the black and the white, the synonymous Butcher Boys. So, Tony Belloc with Kerry Chapman holding the shot, with that drawn ball shot by John Mitchell. This bolt, Mitchell, just going to go by the head down past the 2 metre mark.
Shane Gregory now, number 3 for Tony Waikato's Whanganui 4. He'll follow this one down on Gregory.
It's
on a half decent
looks on a fairly
line,
good
but
line.
it's just going to finish up short. Just needed a couple more yards of weight. You can see it's just finished up right of previous shot. There he goes. It's Tony Belloc with his second.
So just draw through the port.
Yeah, it's a good guide now, that previous bowl of Gregory's.
He sits on the back bowler's fine, and he's going to do just that.
It's a good
Kerry
second.
Chapman, number 3.
So they should be holding a couple here, you would think.
Sitting on the bank behind there, sunbathing, sitting up on the bank behind, directly where the players are playing, enjoying the sunshine here.
Some nice breezes come through, I think, to help cool off the players and fans alike. It certainly was quite steaming hot when we first arrived, but certainly that breeze has helped.
Well, the humidity was up as well earlier on, wasn't it? And it shows, just looking at the green now, at 4:30, that sweating is not there this afternoon. That highlights, of course, that you haven't got that dampness in the air, as we see Tony Waikato trying to add to the head, trying to get to the, and he just went by. Chapman on the backhand.
It's pretty tight in the Wahine final as well. Maria Smith leading Mackenzie Lucha 3-1 after 4 of the 10 ends. I'll give you an update shortly, coming to the end of the 5th end. So big bowl this here for Tony Waikato. Kerry Chapman holding, he thinks at least a couple. So needs something here.
Looks that way as Tony Waikato trying to get down, going to get a lucky slide. No, he's not. Runs into the short bowl, won't alter anything.
Yeah, that was Jane Gregory's bowl as well. So yeah, holding 2 is the signal from Tony Belloc to his skip Kerry Chapman. So chance here for Chapman maybe to add to the count. So big cheer squad for Maria Smith here, and I think Mackenzie Blucher. Obviously all Auckland final Wahine. Tamaki Makoto. Now is that going to get round?
Needs to come back.
Change the situation. Needs to come back a long way and fall in. It does fall in.
The measure's coming out. Might be a big applause here if Mackenzie Blucher draws the shot.
So one's taken away by Belloc. Is he going to let him pick up 2? Certainly that was the indication that he's holding 2.
Well, they're looking closely at it. I think Jean Gregory's saying
Yeah,
That's
take
2.
away a second. And now
The measure for that third bowl that we spoke about, which is the last bowl of Kerry Chapman's. Oh. Well, the easiest thing, boys, instead of looking at it, is get the measure out. That determines everything.
you might be seeing an umpire called on for the very first time.
3.
No, 3 has been decided upon. So, 3 to Kerry Chapman on the 5th end. So, halfway through this contest, and Kerry Chapman has taken a 5-3 lead now over Tane Waikato in the Tane final. Well executed end. Yeah, big round of applause. That's, you see, just a couple of rinks down in the Wahine final. Round of applause for Maria Smith. And it's great to see a lot of those who have been knocked out earlier now turned spectator.
Well, that's
applauding.
It's pinpoint delivery from the lead, from Kerry Chapman's lead. Jean Whitcliffe delivered the jack right to the ditch, and of course back to the 2 metre mark that Brendan and I have been talking about. That virtually that's what every end's been played so far.
Another big bowl. We've seen just a couple of ranks down by Mackenzie Blucher. And it's been played in such good spirits as well. You just have not seen the smiles leave their faces in that Wahine final, be it Blucher or Maria Smith.
Interesting here, Brennan, we're seeing a change of hand from Jean Whitcliffe going to the forehand side, coming up towards the commentary position here, and goes by the jack past the 2 metre mark by 1.5 metres. Eddie Noxo, he's persisting on his forehand side.
I can tell you, Mackenzie Blucher did just draw shot with that final bowl of the 5th end, I believe it is. So I think we'll see the scoreboard change over there shortly. But it's now 3-2. Maria Smith leading Mackenzie Blucher after 5 of the 10 ends in the Wahine final.
So Eddie Cox with his first bowl just slips by the jack, just outside the 2 metre mark, but will be shot. As we see now, Jean Whitcliffe going to his backhand side in this green in this Aotearoa final of the Tane Fours, running at 18 seconds. So it is pretty slick. So Jean Whitcliffe just going by the jack now. Needs to sit on the inside of the bowl. Going to go by.
So they've got the 2 back bowls as Jean Whitcliffe. Both of us rolling past the head. Eddie Knox was pretty handy with his first.
Here's Knox again as we play in 6 of 10. Just watch it. Just crawl towards the jack. And that's exactly what the Eddie Knox bowl is going to do. And finishes just jack low by about 2 feet, right on the centre line. 2 lovely bowls from Eddie Knox, the lead for Tane Waikato, trailing, of course, 5 shots to 3 over Kerry Chapman of Tamaki.
Don't know if Kerry Chapman's a builder or works in the trade. I think
I
think he said 400 to the.
He's in the
so
building,
yeah, so he measured it in mils,
Yep.
rather than the usual bowlers in feet and inches. Yeah, 400 mil away.
And just hearing it was beautiful. Kerry Chapman, I remember a few years back, won some major Mitre 10 competition, nationwide competition about how many nails you could bang in or something over a designated time frame. And Kerry Chapman would not want a box of nails out. But yeah, he's in the building industry, that's for sure. So the Sunny White is going to go by. Number 2 for Tane Waikato is going on the wide side and quick. John Mitchell on the forehand. Definitely down on the head. Eddie Knox has drawn 2 very good opening bowls, but a great reply here from Mitchell. Great reply here from Mitchell.
So close to taking the jack.
Just one bowl past
Might
it.
not even be enough for a shot, as well. Pretty harsh, because that was a great effort from John Mitchell, number 2. Now here's the number 2 for Tony Waikato, Sonny White.
This
with
is
his
pretty
second.
close.
It's a great response. Oh, he's just going to slide past as well, this time on the inside. So
Sits jack level, so you could,
Mitchell was a bit wide, slid by. This time sliding inside was White, but that's probably shot.
so Kerry Chapman saying to his number 3, you beat either of those bowls by 6 inches, you'll have the shot. So here's Tony Bellog. The mat is also not quite a way up the green, but certainly has way up past the 2 metre mark. So Bellog, Kerry Chapman encouraging this bowl, needs to get underneath, sit on the side bowl, the jack level bowl, doesn't quite.
Oh, it's a good effort though, isn't it? Really good effort from Tony Bellog. Was not far away from the target.
Was sitting on
Gave
the bowl.
himself a chance.
Yeah, well, every opportunity there, of course, was sat on the bowl on the inside of it, would just about roll in for shot. Gene Gregory now trying to add to the count for Tony Waikato. It's under the head, very much so under the head. So Tony Bellog doesn't have to improve by much to get a result. Just question. Out of the hand, looked to be on the wider side.
Looks
and it
heavy
is.
as well. Needed to play with that weight to reach the head, but this looks like it's going to have too much. It's going to find its way into the ditch. Yes.
So Gene Gregory now, he'll try on the backhand to make 3 of this as the skips change over. On the end 6 of 10. And this bowl, this looks pretty bowl. This bowl of Gregory's, as it just breaks in towards the jack. Now look at this bowl from Gene Gregory.
Oh, absolute perler.
Sits alongside it.
And applause as well from Kerry Chapman, the opposition skip, to Tony Waikato's number 3, because that was a great bowl from the experienced Gregory. Oh, I love that moment as well for Gregory with Chapman. Chapman's showing his respect to the opposition there. Well, it was a very good bowl.
Gives him a pat to Gene Gregory. All excitement in the women's the Wahine final, as I just saw the jack on the draw.
Yeah, it's all going
Into
there,
the-
isn't
into
it?
the
The
ditch.
crowd are absolutely loving the Wahine final. Just a couple of rinks down.
So Chapman, he'll try and get to sit on the shot bowl. On the draw is Chapman. So more than likely 3 down as
This
he's
is not far away.
This is not far away, just needs to get past.
Oh, needed to be on the inside of that. Unfortunately, got it flush.
Well, one more roll of the
Yeah.
bowl on the inside, he's got second shot
Exactly.
for sure. 5-3 to Chapman, and I'd say 3 down on the head. So Tony Waikato with his first bowl. And that's going to come up low of the jack in the centre line. So Chapman will play that again very quickly into his work as Kerry Chapman on that forehand, trying to get to the shot bowl. But is it going to come back? No, it won't come back from there, just wide on the line. That first bowl of Tony Waikato's more than likely just made that line a wee bit harder for Kerry Chapman to get under that. So can the bonus bowl be drawn here by the Whanganui skip, which of course
Johnson has bounced straight back after giving up a 3 on the 5th end. So they could potentially score a 4 here, maybe.
just going quick. He won't want to touch anything. He
Yeah,
won't
look
want to
out.
touch anything.
Oh, I think a bit of a sigh of relief potentially there from Tony Waikato. That didn't change the situation. There's a 3 for Waikato, bouncing straight back, so they reclaim the lead. 6-5 it is now. Tony Waikato of Whanganui leading Kerry Chapman of Tamaki Makoto. after 6 now of the 10 ends, so just 4 remain in this Tane final. And after currently playing the 6th end, we'll bring you the update from the Wahine final, the end of the 6th end. But by the sounds of the crowd, there's been some thrilling bowls unfolding there as well. So we'll see if the length changes at all with Eddie Knox, whether they've had a discussion, whether they've decided to keep it long. Jack's been brought all the way up.
Kerry Chapman on winning the jack back after the redelivery has decided, all right, we're going to shorten it up the length, and this will be a test, Brendan, I can assure you. This length.
Yeah, we haven't seen this afternoon.
Yeah,
this short.
This will be a challenge. This is one of those links where it's first in, sort of, that's your chance to score quicker, first into the jack.
Eddie Knox was a bit heavy with his first. We'll see how Gene Whitcliffe goes. This was his skip who decided to go with this shorter length. The mat's all the way back.
Well, he's got more than likely, it looks like close to having the weight, but I just questioned
the line wasn't right.
And
is that in?
It's on the sitting dead on the boundary line is the call from.
It might just be in.
Yep, it is. So Eddie Knox now on that back end, needing to draw under that very short bowl of Gene Whitcliffe.
He doesn't like this. Hands in the air, and also the hands went in the air from a skip, Tony Waikato as well.
This is testing, I can assure you. So on the back end now, Gene Whitcliffe knowing he's got to play under his own shorter bowl. In fact, he's going to be outside it and will struggle to get all the way back to the centre line from there. Will more than likely finish close to jack level. So straight away, we've got 2 bowls sitting right out in front, literally on both hands. So it just tightens the line up as well to the jack. And this is just a sort of a very, not a too generous push out of the hand. And this bowler, Sonny White's, he looked to get that away pretty good. If he gets under this front bowl, he's going to be close to getting shot here, and he will.
That'll be it.
That's it for sure. Half a metre lower the jack, but just dropped under the front bowl.
You can almost use that as a bit of a guide now, that front bowl, having seen that. Sonny White could do it.
In the Wahine final now, after 6 ends, I can tell it's all locked up at 3-all.
Between Mackenzie Blucher and Maria Smith, the all Tamaki Makoto affair.
So the big thing here for Sonny White on that forehand side, just take your line to the inside of that short bowl, because the backhand side now is becoming very challenging to get to the draw to the centre line. He's going to go run spot, got to slide off it. Yeah. So Johnny Mitchell now.
Yeah, tried to emulate his first, didn't he? But just went the wrong side of that short bowl. Got a piece of it, had more weight as well.
So what Kerry Chapman's saying to John Mitchell, just take your line to the very, very shortest bowl and endeavour to draw under that line, and you'll be close to that. And that's exactly what he's doing. Just depending how far it's going to go, but this looks pretty good from John Mitchell. This will be the shot itself for sure. And just as Kerry Chapman indicated to him, just get down underneath that line and you'll be close.
Yeah, very well executed as well. It's easy to say it.
Well, very
easy
to
to execute it. And John Mitchell did. That'll please the skip, Kerry Chapman, and what's a very tight contest here in the Tane final. Men's final here at the Aotearoa National Bowls for 2021 at the Atatu Peninsula Bowling Club in Tamaki Makaurau.
So Tony, but like he'll try that line that we just saw John Mitchell play, and needs to get a generous slide, and does, and more than likely by doing so and dislodging the Tony Waikato bolt, more than likely made 2 of it. Gene Gregory now changing his hand, going to that forehand side. Trying to get down. It's on a good line. This ran into the front bowl on that forehand side.
Yeah, it's always the risk, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Because it is on a pretty decent line, that short bowl.
Well, of course, you're playing dead draw weight. You run into something that's going to stop pretty quick. It's not going to get a metre of running off the bowl. So the second bowl, Balog's going to get some luck again. Fortuitous, got a slide, sat on the bowl, outside bowl. That'll be 3 shots. Been looking through the monitor at present.
Yeah, it certainly will. Tit for tat after 3s from both sides on the last 2 ends. Could be seeing a decent number as well for Kerry Chapman's quartet now. And if they dropped a 3 on the previous.
So, to me, the play for Tony Waikato is to follow down on that back end line using the Johnny Mitchell bowl as the jack, as your zone. Too difficult on that forehand. He's playing the forehand side. Needs to be.
Or is he playing the drive?
Could well be the drive to the jack, and to drive is to the jack. He's looking closely at the jack. Got
He
nothing.
can see the jack from the mat. So the other option is jack in the ditch, isn't it? Does he? Who's the back bowls?
Wow.
I think that's what we've seen Kerry Chapman stay at the head. He wanted to have a little look, see what Tony Waikato played. Of course, this is the final, the Tane final. Title up for grabs.
And of course, there's no time limit. It's fine to go
Exactly.
to have a look at the head and just to make sure and watch how the opposition bowl comes to rest. Music going behind us now, as John Niwa said to us would arrive, and it has. And Chapman trying to get the deepest bowl on the rink. And on the basis he's sure that Tony Waikato, the hat's off. It looks like the drive's on again on that forehand side. 3 down.
Yeah, it means business. The hat's been brought off. Here comes the drive. How's it this time? Oh, it's got the jack
Straight
and
to
the ditch. Oh, he just missed first time round, but he executed second time round. And celebrated in style by Sonny White down the other end too.
4 down.
Enjoyed that
Chapman.
one. Wow. That's why it was on, wasn't it? So now it needs something here. It needs to draw to the ditch. He should be able to cut this to 2. He's just got to make sure he stays on the green.
Second shot's to go.
Yeah. Cuts it to 1 here. And he will, as long as this one stays on the surface. And it does, but still a brilliant bowl that was from Tony Waikato. So he picks up a single on the 7th end.
Well, certainly got the contact onto the jack cleanly, didn't use anything else, and just buried the jack into the ditch. Sat closely alongside it in the ditch, and Kerry Chapman, although 4 down, responded well with drawing second shot. And although, as Brendan said before, you know, we're sitting up here watching on an 18-second green, though. It's
easier said than done. Obviously, once you've just seen that, you've got all the adrenaline running through your body. You've got to make sure you just calm yourself and go, no, I just need to draw. I've got 3-4 metres, really. Just got to make sure I don't go in the ditch.
Well, yeah, Kerry Chapman's target was the front bowl. Well, that was his target.
Exactly.
That's, you know, the bowls between.
Don't worry about the ditch. Just make sure you're not going to finish in it. So 7-5 it is now after 7 ends. There's 3 ends remaining in the men's final, the Tane final. See the presentation table and Other side of the green here starting to be put together. Of course, we'll have the winners of the Wahine final as well. Haven't yet completed the 7th end. We'll give you an update after the 7th end. It was 3 apiece after 6. A very tight affair as well between Mackenzie Blucher and Maria Smith in the all Tamaki Makaurau Wahine final.
So Gene Whitcliffe bowl running jack level under the line, just stays inside that side boundary line. And Eddie Knox has been pretty consistent actually the last few ends. He's always got at least one bowl pretty close for his skip, Tony Waikato. Here he is again, and as it comes past us, it just looks to have that nice weight on it, but how far is it going to come back to the centre line? And it's going to go by, but will be a couple of metres. Sits over the jack, and looks like Mackenzie Blucher's done it again over there. I see the.
Yeah, you see them celebrating in that previous shot, top of screen. Just playing a couple of rinks away from our broadcast rink here at the Te Atatu Peninsula Bowling Club.
John Mitchell now. This is drawing towards the jack, but still got to go a couple of metres of running in it. Will be the shot, and sits just past the 2 metre mark.
And it's a pretty good reply as well on the rink, a couple of down by Maria Smith.
Looks as though the end killed, Brendan. Was that there?
Yeah, I believe so. Either went into the ditch or it was killed. So I might be seeing a replayed 7th end in the Wahine final. Of course, no time limits, so it will play out the full 10, unlike what we saw in the Wahine semi-final we broadcast to you earlier on Sky Sport Next. Is not far away there was Sunny White as that one goes just past the jack and into the ditch. Yeah, only 8 ends we managed to complete in the Wahine final. We had a replayed end and they couldn't get to the 9th within the 1 hour 15 minute time limit.
So second bowl now of John Mitchell. Going to sit on the bowls out there, and of course the big hope was then in that bowl of Sunny White that he actually, I'd say, well, it ran into the jack on the way through, but didn't get it, didn't collect the jack. On the backhand again now is Sunny White. And this looks a pretty good line. Pretty keen on this is Tony Waikato. Is it going to get the jack? Just goes by underneath the jack. And will in fact be second shot for sure. John Mitchell now playing his second. This looks better weight as it goes past us in the commentary position. Breaking its way in towards the jack. This is a good bowl here coming from John Mitchell, and will be, and sits right in behind the jack. So, Gene Gregory indication is so Gene Gregory now, he's going to attack the head for sure. Trying to get to the 2 bowls of the jack. The danger is if you miss it, you can drop a big number quickly.
As you've said, unless you're going with a full-blown drive, it's very difficult to guide those weighted shots to the target. And that's what Gene Gregory found that time.
Kerry Chapman quickly saying to Tony Belloc, Chapman's been around long enough, draw to the centre line. It's the go. Make it so much difficult then for the Tony Waikato side too. And this is going to get right on that centre line.
Pretty much what he asked for, wasn't it? Kerry Chapman.
Doesn't count perhaps, but certainly restricts the weighted shot options on you.
It means you can't go with that full-blown drive now because all you're going to do is run into the short one.
Gene Gregory to be fair, is a natural. He's always been a draw player. I think even these situations, it's play to the strength. There's a pretty good attempt here from Gene Gregory. There's a pretty good attempt. How far is it going to come back? This is a sterling effort from Gene Gregory, but falls in. May well make second shot.
Yeah, looks like still Chapman holding a couple, but it's a good effort Chapman by Gregory, as you said. Now Bellog.
And that breaks towards the head now. Don't want to touch the jack.
You want this to hold up.
Don't want to touch the jack. One down.
Oh, that's
Chapman.
not what you wanted. Oh, hands on head from a few of the Tamaki Makaurau quartet. Kerry Chapman shaking his head.
Well,
that did not work out well.
The old story. Under the line with a metre of weight, you can and got the back of the jack on that slice, and so Gene Gregory did the right thing.
And now he's rewarded for that previous bowl.
And there's a big end now for Chapman. It was 7-5 down. Was holding
only a couple of ends remaining after this. This is the 8th end.
Tony Waikato in the number 2 jumper as we play end 8 on the forehand.
He's now holding shot, so the whole situation changed with that previous bowl from Tony Bellog.
That's quick.
It runs into one of those deeper bowls.
And Chapman, no doubt, will endeavour to play to get to the bowl, and he is playing that playing with weight underneath to get to it.
It's going to be too much underneath. That sails by.
So you can see, Kerry Chapman can obviously see a clear line under the blue bowl.
Yeah, because of course he gets rid of that Gene Gregory bowl, then and if it stays, they're holding 3.
It's ironic, wasn't it? That was Kerry Chapman that asked for the centre line bowl, and now it's the sort of stumbling bowl for him to get to the ideal position to be able to attack the head. So,
what do you think Tony Waikato's trying here with these?
I don't know, but not sure whether he was sort of wanting to stay right away from the head. I think Chapman will go quicker. And he is. He's on the full charge as Chapman on the forehand drive, trying to get the bowl. Got it clean. What a bowl. 3 shots.
Yeah, knocked one of his own out, so it might only be a couple. And certainly 2.
So the measure bowl is the front bowl. What a drive. 4 it is.
4. What a bowl that is from Kerry Chapman, from being 1 down on the head to 4 up. And it's 9-7 now with 2 ends to play. Kerry Chapman of Tamaki Makaurau leading Tony Waikato or Whanganui.
Well, Brendan, just going back to what we spoke about before, on these greens you want to get results, you go quick.
Yeah.
The margin of error of trying to play those other shots, it's too great to try and...
Well, we saw Tony Waikato execute as well previous end
down this way
with a full-blown drive, and that was very well picked up by Kerry Chapman. And he saw, because the shot bowl and the jack were off the centre line, that centre line bowl that he asked Tony Bellog to put in place wasn't actually a factor. He could actually get to it.
But he had to go quick.
Of course, by going quick. He couldn't have gone if he just tried to guide it there.
I think Chapman realised after playing his first bowl, the old palmy shot's too difficult. Let's go full. Providing the head didn't alter, and it didn't alter. So let's give it full blast, and duly rewarded with a 4.
Yeah, even though he knocked away one of his in the carnage that followed knocking away the shot bowl, still had another 4 in the area. So big end that.
What's interesting is the 8 ends played, Kerry Chapman has only scored on 3 of those ends. That being a 4, a 3, and a 2.
I think it was a 5 because it's 10-7. Yeah, it was a 5.
It was
so big end that was. So yeah, just looking at the scoreboard, 10-7. So even better. So from 1 down to 5 up.
Yeah, it just highlights, players like Kerry Chapman. The class never leaves. When they, It's the old story in these sorts of games. You might only get 1 or 2 chances, and you know, like any rugby league, soccer, whatever it is, you know, or football, you get those chances, and when the door is ajar a wee bit, and of course now we've seen the jack back to the 2 metre mark again.
Oh, we spoke with John Niwa, didn't we, in the Wahine semi-final when a big number was dropped. He said in this format, so difficult to come back from dropping even a 3 or a 4, but a 5, especially when Tony Waikato was up by 2, 3 ends to play, would have felt in a pretty good position. He was holding shot.
It's interesting, it was Chapman going down this way before that called the short head. Now he's saying, right, we're in front now, let's get back to where we think we're more comfortable with. And that's what now we'll see. And that was all really set up from Johnny Mitchell in that head. Really, he was the first one that got that bowl close. So now Johnny Mitchell will be endeavouring to do the same here on this, the 9th of 10. And he looks just to do that as it breaks down towards the head. Is Johnny Mitchell going to do it and draw the shot? You see he does, just past the 2 metre mark.
Oh, it's an end that Tony Waikato's Whanganui 4 really you'd think must win.
They have to win.
Even a single for Kerry Chapman would leave them 4 behind playing the last. Difficult to come back against Chapman.
I don't know if
he's played 2 big final bowls last 2 ends. Of course, he was, remember, down 4 on the 7th end. With last bowl, he managed to draw a good second to cut it just to 1, and then that drive to turn it from 1 to Tony Waikato into 5, Kerry Chapman. He's
created, you know, a big shot turnaround in 2 ends, hasn't he? I don't know if the cameras can get the visual of it all, but we've even got now a whole raft of people sitting in the ditch along in front of us here, all watching the Wahine final, and all in the ditch. And I see an indication it's another 1 to the Blucher combination. I just saw Jackie Broderson put a hand up for 1.
So they'll be 4-3. They're now leading Maria Smith after 7 of the 10 ends in the Wahine final. It was a 2, in fact, so 5-3. Kenzie Blucher leading Maria Smith.
So Tony White, the number 2 for Tony Waikato, trying to draw the shot, draws the jack and sits alongside it. Well played by the number 2 for Tony Waikato, his second bowl on this end, 9 of 10. 10-7.
Good here for a Tamaki Makoto double, of course, in the Wahine final. Both 4s are from Tamaki Makoto, Auckland, and Kerry Chapman. Is Tamaki Makoto 4 leading here over Tony Waikato's Whanganui quartet.
So on the forehand is Tony Bullock, 1 down, and he doesn't like that. I can see why he doesn't like it as we look out, and that's gone way by. So Gene Gregory now trying to build the score and opportunity for the Whanganui side. So here's now Gregory on the draw. Looks pretty good on the way down to the jack. Is it going to sit on the bowl? And it is. It's a couple. But, ooh, that's, I know it won't be.
Targets.
Well, I know it won't be Tony Bullock that plays the shot, but Kerry Chapman, I'm pretty sure his eyes are lit up a bit. So now following on that forehand, and think it'll come back from out there with that weight. Needs to get a slide all the way through. It won't do so.
And 2 bowls to forget there for number 3, Kerry Chapman, Tony Bellog. So Chapman's going to have to come up with something again here. So there's an opening here for Tony Waikato to come in right back into this Tane final. Of course, Kerry Chapman still hasn't hit that target.
So Gene Gregory now playing his second bowl. Looked to be slightly wider out of the hand, and it is, but...
And it's run into those short wide bowls. I think he was trying to come in behind the head and avoid the main target area, but got too wide.
Oh.
And so he ended up right alongside all those wide bowls on the forehand side.
I think you'll see Chapman confidence in the drive after that last end. I think he'll drive the jack or the two bowls. Jack in the ditch is a great result, and I don't think he might prove me wrong, but I'm pretty sure after his confidence on the drive, that's what Kerry Chapman, the former blackjack, making his way back to the mat. Sunglasses back up on the forehead, on the forehand. And no, he's playing with that.
He fooled you.
And wait, totally did. Chapman trying to play down to these two bowls. It's going to go under the line.
Yeah, teapot on the mat as well. Not happy with that because it may foil his attempt if he does want to go for the drive second time round. It's still open, just.
No, the drive's now on the wider side, not the jack side.
No, not the jack side. The jack's gone. It's blocked up now.
And of course, now if Tony Waikato was to draw another shot here, the pressure going is right on Kerry Chapman to this last bowl. So here is Tony Waikato with his first bowl. After that big 5 for Chapman on the 8th end.
The penultimate end of the Tane final here at the Aotearoa National
Looks
Bowls.
pretty good. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good.
Oh, that's great.
Chapman quickly on the mat into his work as Chapman changing hands to the backhand, trying to get down to the jack, and that jack line drag is on. Needs to get under this bowl in front cleanly. Doesn't do so.
And that was pesky first bowl of his. He has pushed his first bowl into the area, but not changed the situation. I think Tony Waikato will be holding 3. Unfortunately, Gene Gregory is getting quite familiar with our camera. That's why I've been bringing you this other shot. He's now moved out of the way, so he'll get a clearer position of the head.
By goodness, we've seen 5, a 3. There's certainly been some numbers.
Oh, after been pretty low scoring to start with, wasn't it? It
was.
was 3-all, or 3-2 rather, and then after 3-2 after 4 ends rather. Now, Tony Waikato
on the draw, trying to make it 4. And Gene Gregory's joined as part of the camera brigade again. He's following this, chasing this bowl. Is the skip. It needs to get in front of this inside that bowl. Didn't do so. And
it's a good effort.
I think we're all locked up.
Yeah, I think so. That previous shot before Gene Gregory moved in front of the camera, I saw that that bowl of Kerry Chapman's actually was advanced far more into the head than it looked like on the previous angle. So we'll just wait and see. It looks like it was a 3, but we'll just wait and see. The scoreboard says. Well, it looks like they have changed Kerry Chapman to a 4 from the previous end, so it should actually have been a 4, as you said, but they gave it as a 5, so the scoreboard's been completely corrected. So now it's actually Tony Waikato in the lead. 10-9. 10-9. Tony Waikato leading Kerry Chapman with just this 10th and final end to play.
So, great opening bowl here from the lead for Eddie Knox. You can't get much better than that.
Oh, just what you want on a final end, a deciding end of this Tane final. They're playing the 8th end in the Wahine final. We'll give you an update at the end of inclusion of that 8th end. The skips are currently playing their last bowls. Kenzie Blucher and Maria Smith. Blucher leading 5-3 after 7.
Gene Wycliffe, he's close to the jack. He just goes by the jack. And that's certainly the shot to try and play. Good skipping here straight away from Tony Waikato, saying forget about the shot. Draw to his lead.
Yeah, that's where it came as a game of chess now, doesn't it? They've obviously got that lead.
So,
they've got a bowl on the jack. More applause from Mackenzie Blucher from the crowd in attendance here in the Wahine final. Eddie Knox playing on the forehand side. A great first bowl, now looking for a bit of cover and try and match.
And he's going to do just that to the 2 metre mark, just around that drag cover. He's got that in, and of course, as you rightly said, Brendan, it now puts the Tony Waikato side in a bit of a dominating position in the head. You know, that after that first bowl of Eddie Knox starts to sets the head up well. Gene Wycliffe on the backhand, he'll try and get to the jack as well. One big thing for the Kerry Chapman side on this last end, don't be short. So here's Wycliffe again, trying to get it. Not going to break all the way back to the jack, certainly. Very hard shot to play. And now the bowl for Tony Waikato from Sonny White is to get in between those two bowls, the two Wycliffe bowls. That's exactly what he's saying. Beat the Knox bowl by a metre. And that was a 1 to the 5-4, but Brenton will give you that update in but a moment.
Calling it home here is Tony Waikato, the Sunny White bowl. Wants to sit between these two blue bowls, and it hasn't. Not far away, though. It finds its way into the ditch, so that one won't count. Sunny White will get another opportunity. Now John Mitchell. Pretty reliable at number 2 for Kerry Chapman.
He's been pretty consistent, really, has John Mitchell. But is that going to get the weight to get all the way to draw the shot? Trying hard is John Mitchell bowl, going to run a metre short. Most likely be second. Kerry Chapman looking to see, is it 1 or 2? Now the big thing here, changing hand here to that, is you don't give a shoulder on jack level or jack low to the Kerry Chapman side, because that certainly will light his eyes up, because it does give the opportunity to.
So maybe erring on the wide side here, Sunny White, but it doesn't look like he has. He's going to come under the line, in fact. Doesn't have the weight, so it's not going to give that shoulder, and just further blocking up that forehand side for the right-handed players, as John Mitchell is.
So on the backhand, look quick out of the hand. It won't be quick, of course, if he manages to get the jack on the way through. Kerry Chapman's looking at it. Kerry Chapman's looking at it. Kerry Chapman's looking at it. Got the bowl.
Oh, another great bowl. It actually doesn't look like it's changed the situation. Still holding 1 as indicated there by Tony Waikato. But what a bowl that was, and that really frees it up now. And a huge boost for Kerry Chapman, the skip.
Well, it certainly does, because it makes, I'm not saying the head easier to draw the shot, but the head's more open, although he's 1 down. As we watch Gene Gregory, who's been pretty consistent on the dead draw as Gene Gregory, and he's going to be pretty consistent again here. And
that's 2, you'd think.
That'd be another counter, you would think, from there.
Yeah, I think that might even be the shot itself. So it looks like 2, but still space for Kerry Chapman's number 3, Tony Bellog. No, he doesn't like this. Turns his back on it halfway down. He hasn't found his rhythm of late, Tony Bellog. Turn his back on a few bowls. That one coming up short and under the line.
And of course, remembering that Kerry Chapman has got the 2 deepest bowls on the rink. Those being the 2 bowls of Gene Wycliffe. Tony
Waikato calling down his number 3, Gene Gregory, to have a little look at their head and decide together what they want to play.
Well, it's fair to say, Brendan, that Gene Gregory is going to draw. That's his game. Now, the logical place to draw is actually the 2 bowls that we just spoke about of the lead of Kerry Chapman, the Gene Wycliffe bowls, which is sitting down by that number 7. As Chapman can, there's not many options left open for Kerry Chapman, and the last thing they want to do is play on that backhand side and jack level bowl, because that just opens the door for one of Chapman's favourite shots, which would be the run to the jack for sure, to the ditch. We'll see Jackie Broderson draw the shot for the blue chip combination in this very tight Wahine final.
It is 5-4 after 8 ends. Mackenzie Blucher leading Maria Smith. So they're playing the 9th end in the Wahine final. A couple of rinks away from us, but we're at the absolute business end of the Tane final here.
So Gene Gregory going to go by.
Oh, and just where they wanted him to be.
That's exactly where he wanted him to be.
He was waving him on, maybe wanted a couple more rolls to get between those two bowls of Gene Whitcliffe, the lead for Kerry Chapman, but a pretty fine effort from Gene Gregory.
So there's a jack search from the number 3 for Kerry Chapman. He just indicated that. It's the best option now for Chapman. Looking closely for the jack is Chapman.
I don't think he's far away.
He's not far away. Gets one of them.
Gets one of the shot bowls out.
One.
So the Gene Gregory bowl is removed from the head. And why not get your number 3 to play it? Don't leave it all up to you, the skip, to do.
Well, it's has Kerry Chapman got? He's definitely got second shot. That being the bowl of John Mitchell's, and then it's a matter of the third and fourth shots. So Chapman sitting on the chair.
And now Ballog, Mitchell and Whitcliffe go up to you, Skip.
Yep, and wait to see what
they've played their part. Unless we go to an extra end here.
Could do.
Yeah, still a possibility, of course, but Waikato holding shot. It's Whanganui 4, and he's playing first on this, the 10th and final end of the Tane decider.
Yeah, look quick out of the hand.
And it's going to go into the ditch. It's not going to stay up.
So
wanted something around the back because he knows that the weight is going to come from Kerry Chapman. Or he could draw this. He could surprise us again, and there is space to draw, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely there is. And there's a chance. There's a chance with Jack Trail, depending on what hand Chapman plays. Certainly, forehand's hard.
Does he think draw first?
Yeah, I would think
draw first on the backhand side.
He's going to go. Is it playing that backhand shot or the forehand under to get to the jack? And that's what Chapman's looking to do.
Yeah, playing with that running weight.
Asking it to hold up as the side. Trying to get to the bowl. Look at that.
Oh, wonderfully executed.
You spoke about the extra end.
Yeah, what could very much be an extra end. Looks like.
Well, it's interesting. The other bowl of the Whanganui side, which must be that of second shot, actually rocked.
Yeah.
It did rock in
the
and
Eddie
out.
Knox bowl, yeah, didn't it? Yeah, I thought that was going to go as well. But he got rid of one.
So
it might be a measure for shot, you know. Looked like Tony Ballog just had a little look, wasn't 100% certain.
John Mitchell was pretty confident.
Yeah,
he put his.
I think Gene Whitcliffe did the same. I think it went up immediately.
So Tony Waikato, is it going to be an extra end, or is this the big moment with a Whanganui skip? Is it under the line? Is it under the line?
It's under the line. Is it going to run into something though? No.
It isn't. Well, now they're looking closely, as you said, Brendan.
Well, they're looking at maybe the other red bowl being second, but I wouldn't have thought so. So you back the red bowl right pitcher as a shot bowl.
I back one.
And then the purple bowl left of pitcher, left of that centre line being second. So that's what it looks like from our angle anyway.
Yeah, it does. Well, if it was two, Kerry Chapman wouldn't be playing this bowl, would he?
No, that's very good point. But I think they had to look, didn't they, just to make sure.
So here's Chapman. We're going to say endeavouring to make it two. This is going to be close. This is going to be close, this bowl. This bowl of Kerry Chapman's. This is going to be close. Just has to draw back. Trying to pull it all the way in. Is it going to fall? It falls. Did it fall enough?
Oh, this is close, you know. This is very close. I'd favour the purple bowl just.
One, I just heard. Tape. Kerry Chapman tape.
I think it was worth measuring in this situation. The 10th and final end, a chance to potentially win the title. You've got to measure it. So they've taken one away. So we're all locked up. Now, this is to potentially...
Well, looking from here, Brenton, straight out onto the rink, I go along with what you say. The Maori bowl at the back certainly looks to be closer from this angle, but Kerry Chapman was only really one roll away. If he was inside by one bowl, it would have certainly would have made any doubt about it.
Yeah, it looks
by goodness, this is closer than we think. No, not that one.
And I don't think that red one is closer. I'll be surprised if it is, but they did do a little...
Nope.
No. So it is just a one. We're going to go to an extra end here in the Tane final. Bonus bowls for the Aotearoa National Bowls here for 2021 at the Atatu Peninsula Bowling Club.
There'll be the toss of the coin to see who goes first, who holds the mat. And so another end in the Wahine final I see looks to be...
I'll give you an update on the scoreboard very shortly.
Well,
looks like applauding was Mackenzie Blucher, but she
didn't play her last bowl.
Oh, there you go. That's a sign that they won the end in, and that Jack has been rolled out. And the 10th and final end now of the Wahine final, and it is Mackenzie Blucher who is leading Maria Smith 7-5 in the all Tamaki Makoto Wahine final, and we are playing an 11th end, an extra end in the Tane final. And we're all locked up, 10 apiece.
So Eddie Knox, the lead for Tane Waikato, he's taken the jack, giving Kerry Chapman, of course, the last bowl. Jack's not quite down to the 2 metre mark, but the mat is virtually right back on the 2 metre mark. And no doubt we'll see Eddie Knox play his favoured backhand down towards the city end here. A bit of a breeze, but only a zephyr of a breeze blowing through here. Absolutely perfect conditions here on the finals day of the 47th Aotearoa National Bowls Finals.
Gene Whitcliffe probably thought his afternoon was done after his first 2 bowls on the 10th end, but they have got themselves an extra end here. Kerry Chapman, after picking up at 1,
needs to stop.
It's going to make its way almost back to that centre line, just a couple of metres too much weight from Gene Whitcliffe with his first. Eddie Knox now with his second and final bowl.
So it's interesting, Brendan, with this playing the extra end, unless something happens in the Wahine final, they're both going to finish literally bowl for bowl finish, I would say.
That's great, isn't it? The way it's worked out. So we will endeavour to get interviews with both winners, I believe.
So Eddie Knox, who's been pretty consistent, the lead in the Tony Waikato side. He's with the number 1 jumper. He's been pretty consistent actually right throughout. As Gene Whitcliffe, he's on a better line as it needs to get under the Knox bowl cleanly. Doesn't do so, ran into it. So Sonny White will now play on his backhand. Hasn't played many on the backhand as Sonny White. Mainly played the forehand. Going down to the road end here at the Atatu Peninsula Club. Just going to fall outside. And a big thank you again to Aaron, Tamara and the team who do all the work, putting all this together. A wonderful job again on their Waitangi weekend. And they're here and helping to bring this coverage on Sky Sport Next, which we hope you're enjoying, as we certainly are.
Yeah, we just do the easy bit. Turn up in the afternoon once everything's set up and talk a bit of rubbish.
So this is a bit of a catering comparison. There's a pretty high up there.
Oh, well, I need to have a good sit down. I think I need to actually be here. I think next year I'll be here for the whole tournament.
Oh, that'll
to
give
get
a really good
to get
idea.
a full. I can't really assess the catering without being here for a bit longer. Kevin, I think it's only fair to the staff.
Well, there's certainly a good variety, obviously.
Oh, it was quite special what I saw at lunchtime, and I know they were very well fed at breakfast, and there'll be, I think, a hangi to come
So there's still a
this
lot
afternoon
more,
and
lot more
evening.
activity yet. There's John Mitchell following his bowl on. This is a good weight, this bowl of Mitchell's. You could see out of the hand it looked pretty good. How far is it going to run by the jack on this extra end? And will that be the shot? No, it goes by about a metre. I think it is the shot.
It's been very impressive, John Mitchell, number 2 for Kerry Chapman for me. Very consistent.
So Gene Gregory now on the backhand on this extra end. And been a pretty consistent draw player, has Gene
He doesn't
Gregory.
like this one,
No,
though.
that's wide. And
And it's a telltale sign, turns his back on that one. Didn't want to see where that one finished up.
Draw to the outside bowl, Tony. Here, mate.
Tony Bullock, I'll just check him with Chapman, but the backhand's the only sensible draw shot. You're going to get tangled up on the forehand. Weight didn't look bad out of the hand. Weight looked pretty good, in fact, out of the hand. Is he going to run past to the jack? He's going to get the jack. Draws the toucher. Always looked good, that bowl. Looked really good out of the hand. And may I say, without being rude, that's it's been a few. There hasn't been many that of telling bowls, and Tony Bullock would tell you that himself, actually. So, but on this end, the big end, he certainly.
And when it matters most, and it could have even worked out a bit better if he managed to get more of a trail on that rather than getting the outside the jack. But the next best result, and it's still a toucher, and it's still a very fine bowl.
So Gregory changing
Chapman's number
hands to
3.
the forehand, trying to draw through that front port to the jack. It's a pretty tough line to get through. This bowler, Gene Gregory's, is he going to get all the way? Falls in front of the short bowls. And very difficult shot to play. Chapman striding back confidently. Still, even though it's an extra end at 4 that we saw on the 8th end, that drive of Kerry Chapman's, to me, it certainly was that got them right back into the game, and
Oh, certainly did. At that stage, they were down a couple, turned it into a 2-shot lead, and while they dropped a 3, wasn't it, on the next end, they're still able to execute in that 10th and final end to force this tiebreaker.
sure the shot just been drawn.
7-4 playing the 10th and final end. Mackenzie Blucher leading Maria Smith.
Yeah, Tony Bullock sensibly here going for what I'd call the cover shot, because the danger is drawing as well on that backhand, Brendan, as you give that shoulder that we were talking about before for Tony Waikato. It's a very hard draw shot. It's a very, very difficult draw shot. It might look as though you've got 18 inches to draw the shot. You've got to come around, of course, those front bowls and get the draw. It's just got to dawdle its way towards the jack on the draw. And looking from where we're sitting on the forehand side, I don't think you can see much of the jack. Challenging shot here for the Whanganui skip. Standing on the mat. Still thinking he's going to go to that forehand side.
So after Kerry Chapman came up with some big bowls, now Tony Waikato needs to come up with some of his own here. I don't think this is going to change the situation, just judging by the body language of those. Yeah, as that runs right through and somehow doesn't come up with anything.
Well, it's our story, Brendan, of the tactics of whether it be fours or pairs, any discipline. If you've got bowls sitting on the centre line, you've got bowls sitting actually dead on the centre line, and there's bowls in front, very difficult shot to try and no bowls to run off, nothing to use. Chapman, he'll be going to the, I would say, endeavouring to go deep, I would say, on the back end. in case there's a jack spring out to the side. He's not going to go near the head. Doesn't have to.
Yeah, now he's got the back bowl. If there is some amazing shot that Tony Waikato can come up with, and moves the jack back there. I don't see how that would be a possibility though. The jack, if it does move, would, as Kevin said, would come out the side somewhat. So here it is. This could be the match. Tony Waikato for Whanganui. Can he come up with something special here? And it looks on the wide side. He hangs his head. And that is shake hands time. It is Kerry Chapman, Tony Bellog, John Mitchell and Jean Whitcliffe from Tamaki Makaurau. The hometown side who have beaten Tony Waikato, Jean Gregory, Sonny White and Eddie Knox from Whanganui in a sudden death tie-breaker extra end here in the Tane final. And they are the champions here at the Aotearoa National Bowls at the Atatu Peninsula Bowling Club. And very shortly we'll have the women's action. The Wahine final coming to a conclusion again. And it looks like Mackenzie Blucher has taken it out, but they've got one bowl to play there, Maria Smith. So we will wait for that, bring you that result, and then I'll endeavour to get interviews with both skips, be that Kerry Chapman and Mackenzie Blucher or Kerry Chapman and Maria Smith. But congratulations to the men's champions in the Tane final. Kerry Chapman, Tony Bellog, John Mitchell and Jean Whitcliffe. Kevin, that was quite some final. Tight throughout, some big numbers, went to and fro, but when it mattered most, it went the way of Kerry Chapman.
Yeah, great final, and you know, it was, well, extra end. You don't get any closer than that, can you? And you know, I come back to the 7th end when Kerry Chapman pulled off that big drive and scored 4. But of course, back came with a 3, the Tony Waikato side, and I can tell you it's the last bowl now in the Wahine final. So I'll just let Brendan take you through that. I think it's Maria Smith who's holding the shot, I think.
But they are 3 down playing the last, so they need to come up with something special here. They need a 3 to force an extra in. We'll just watch the body language of the women, and it doesn't look like it's going to change the situation here. And there are big hugs all around, and it looks like that has been won by Mackenzie Blucher by the looks of things. There's the McClendon, Jackie Broderson and Claire Tafaru. So it's a Tamaki Makaurau double here at the Aotearoa National Bowls at the Te Atatu Peninsula Bowling Club. Kerry Chapman and Mackenzie Blucher are your champions for 2021. I'll make my way out onto the green and leave you in the hands of Kevin Hickland.
So, Brenton, we saw 2 wonderful finals here this afternoon at the 47th Aotearoa National Bowls Championships, which have been played around the greens of Auckland over the last 2 days, accumulating today here in the finals at the Te Atatu Peninsula Club. And we've seen now, as Brenton just spoke a moment ago, Kerry Chapman running out the winner in the men's final. And in the women's, we saw the very colourful and happy-go-lucky the Blucher side, the youngster, in fact, skipping that side, at the Mackenzie Blucher, whose father, of course, is the president here at Te Atatu Peninsula. Now, just wait for Brenda Van Nistelrooy to get Kerry Chapman, and just waiting for any second now, Brendan Van Nistelrooy will have the winner of the Aotearoa National Fours, and their skip, Kerry Chapman, and we go to Brendan Van Nistelrooy and Kerry Chapman.
Joining me, the skip of the successful Tamaki Makaurau champions here at the Aotearoa National Bowls. What a final that was, and you had to come up with some pretty impressive ones.
Mate, that was just heart-wrenching. The boys pulled through. A couple of good bowls by me halfway through the match. But give credit where it's due. You know, they played a fantastic final too. Unfortunately, someone has to lose, and heart goes out to them. But we're very, very happy to get up and win the tournament.
You have done some pretty impressive things in your career, obviously representing New Zealand, but where does this stand, winning this Tane title?
Long time ago, representing New Zealand. This is my second Maori Bowls win, but this one was more enjoyable because having the other game for a while and coming back and being able to compete by then ever so well and to pull it off at Pringle Park. They're only a small club in West Auckland, but everybody is so jovial there and we're completely happy. So we're going to have a great night. We really are.
Well, I think you deserve it. Make sure you enjoy yourself, lads, tonight. But do you think they're having that hometown advantage, been more familiar with the greens, but helped you this last couple of days?
Oh, look, the greens were magnificent. These greens at Te Atatu Peninsula were running 19 seconds. All the greens, all the format, the people behind the kitchen, the bar. We had great home support as well. We've had probably about 50 supporters here, like most of the weekend, supporting us and barracking us. So this is all to them as well. Very happy.
Well, we'll let you go pick up that trophy. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
It's Kerry Chapman, the successful skip, as we bring in the skip now, the successful Wahine women's team from Tamaki Makaurau, Mackenzie Blucher. What a final you had as well, but played throughout the day with a smile on your face. You enjoyed yourself today?
Yes, yeah, this is my favourite tournament. I kind of retired from bowls, but I came back for this because it's just the best. Yeah, every year, yeah.
Well, surely this wants you to keep going though with bowls?
Oh, I think I might now. My whole time playing bowls, I've only ever played lead. So my team trusted me to skip and I had so much fun. So I don't know, maybe I could be convinced to play a few more games. Yeah.
What is so much that you love about this tournament, Aotearoa National Bowls?
Well, first of all, it's super competitive. Like you saw the bowls, they're always incredible, like national standard. And then as like a third generation urban Maori, this has been really important for me to like be with my people and celebrate the culture and do everything that I can't do because my marae is 7 hours away. So there's the cultural aspect, there's the bowls aspect, and then it's always just the most fun everyone ever has every year. Yeah.
Yeah, the format I suppose lends itself to it, doesn't it? Just 10 ends, you get to know everyone.
Yes, yeah. We've played each other every single year, and it's nice to get quick, short games in. Yeah.
How are you going to celebrate this with the ladies tonight?
Absolutely, yeah. This is my home club, so I can walk home afterwards. Yeah.
Well done, Mackenzie. Go get that trophy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mackenzie Blucher there, our champion. So that is the finalists complete, and that wraps up our action here from the Aotearoa National Bowls. Our Wahine and Tane champions have been found. It's time for them to go celebrate and get the trophies.